Welcome, everyone. We are kicking off the first match of this weekend of the Beat Saber World Cup with the losers round 2 match between Japan versus Belgium. I'm Mystic Mall, and I'm joined today by Uninstaller. We'll be your casters for this match. Yo, Uninstaller, welcome to the casting couch.
It was a last-minute substitution, but I am glad to be here. Excited to
Hey.
stand on this side of the curtain.
Yeah, so Uninstaller, you've been working on the map pools for the Beat Saber World Cup, so I'm very interested to get a bunch of insight from you for the map pools, specifically in this pool. You want to talk about them?
Yeah, so the idea behind the map pools is we have like sort of a difficulty progression across the different stages. So as we progress through the tournament, it gets a little harder. But we also want like a nice balance between the maps in the pool. We had a little bit of an issue this time because there are two DE maps that you might notice of very similar Camellia songs, but we felt that they were distinct enough maps that we could include both of them.
Yeah, actually, as a as a Sound Voltex player myself, I was personally really hyped to see both of them in the same pool because for those who don't know the lore, the lore of those songs, Feel Seasickness and Spatial Temporal Shockwave. We'll just shorten it to either Spatial Temporal or Shockwave. Those two songs could, I'm pretty sure Spatial Temporal is a direct sequel to Feel Seasickness. They are both very similar in structure and like the way they were composed. Like it's just a whole bunch of messes in terms of BPM changes, which makes the songs like in themselves very chaotic in nature.
BPM changes, various I think there's various 1/5 streams in Feel Seasickness.
Jeez.
It was even used as the I think one of the that was the sight read map for one of the KAC SDVX finals. So that was really cool here.
That was, I believe, the first time in the KAC Sound Voltex where they threw like a song that had so many BPM changes. So it's gonna be interesting to see. For this time around in the Beat Saber World Cup, they won't be sight reading it. They have practiced these songs. The pools have been announced in advance, so all the teams have practiced these songs for sure. So let's see. It's gonna be quite interesting. What else in the map pool do we? Yeah, we have two act maps as all the pools, I believe. The act maps in this specific pool are Lightsaber and Amazing Mirage.
And Edgy will be actually playing on his own map, Amazing Mirage. So that'll be fairly interesting to see.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the
course,
Japanese
unless it's banned.
Yeah. As a lot of the Japanese squads seem to be very well practiced on the map. We'll see if Belgium did their scouting and decide to ban it. Though Belgium happens to be a very strong act team in their own right, so they may be opting to ban one of the harder maps instead.
Yeah, that's actually a reoccurring theme we've been seeing in these Beat Saber World Cup matches. I talked to you about this like right before the stream started, but like in almost every match in the Beat Saber World Cup, you can almost like each team knows it themselves that there's always going to be one team that's more centered around act, and then the other team that's more centered around speed. So it's like almost in every single match, we always see one ban on an act map, and then the next ban landing on the fastest song in the map pool. What do you think is going to be the situation here? Because so far, Japan in their run through this bracket, they've been kind of leaning more towards accuracy, trying to pick accuracy songs and banning a bunch of the faster songs. But do you think they're going to be taking the same strategy here with Belgium with high accuracy players such as Zillion and Matt?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because also Belgium is only running 4 or 5 players this tournament, so they may be a little more pressed on the stamina side. So it could be a legitimate strategy to pick the longer maps and see if Belgium tires themselves out.
Yeah, definitely. We got like one of the high intensity maps is the one by Suk. I believe it was Sky Strike. It is the longest, or actually no. No. The longest map in this pool is the Umbra Camellia map. But in itself as well, Sky Strike is a very tiring song. So let's see if Japan picks that with the sole purpose of tiring out players from Belgium, because I believe they also talked about, they were talking in like the general group chat about how Belgium made it like public that, yo, we only got 4 players this time around. So I don't know, like you'll never know what if Japan like takes that into account and they try to actively implement it in their strategy.
Oh, and then they have their tracking resets as well, so there's that to consider.
Yo,
With maps, like all 3 of them somewhat slider or window heavy, which causes players to use more arm and burn more stamina. That Streamless Wanderer and Dear Insanity particularly will require like a lot of stamina because of the patterns used in those maps.
yeah, definitely. Dreamless Wanderer it is a slider map, and honestly, the song itself is very chill. One of Camelia's slower songs. I believe it's only at 170 BPM, but the way that it was mapped, Umbra used a bunch of not just regular sliders, but also slider windows. And to hit slider windows, they're equivalently as wide. You have to swing as wide as like a three stack tower, pretty much, because they're pretty wide. So, and he uses a bunch of these window sliders all throughout the very lengthy song. So like just playing through it, I'm sure a bunch of players will lose a lot of stamina with that song.
There's a lot of, and he mixes in the sliders with regular patterns, so you can't really establish sort of slider rhythm like on other sliders maps, like say Hype or like other Iraqi maps. Umbra just uses them sort of as a regular pattern, and that will really that kind of plays into his mapping style. And you can't really discount the DE maps either, because although they are the shortest maps in the pool, they have very high bursty, high BPM patterns that require like a high degree of technical skill to execute. So you might find yourselves missing or straining to keep your stamina up on those.
Yeah, I was actually very interested in Feel Seasickness. In my opinion, I felt like in terms of difficulty, I had the hardest time with Feel Seasickness, simply because of like, I guess the amount of BPM changes, and like a bunch of the patterns are extremely technical. We got a lot of wide swings, a lot of pretty fancy doubles that are scattered all throughout the map. So, and it's pretty interesting to note that Feel Seasickness was not labeled under the higher difficulty maps. It was labeled as a mid difficulty map, with the 2 higher difficulty maps being Sky Strike and Spatial Temporal for this specific pool. But even with a Feel Seasickness being as difficult as it is, it might be interesting to see.
So there's quite a lot of sort of 1/5. There's also, I talked to D before the match, and he said that he expected a lot of flack for the Sky Streams and Feel Seasickness. We'll see if any players drop their combo there.
Hang on, the stream froze up for me. I'm gonna refresh real quick. But yeah, also the Dear Insanity map by Muffin. You saw it yourself earlier when you play tested it. You saw how about midway in the song, it kind of gets a little bit crazy in terms of stacks and window streams.
Muffin really loves his windows, and you can see it in that map. There are window streams, there are stack streams, and it goes on for a good 45 seconds. So that will probably be the match decider if we see Asking Alexandria pick. So if you say that Spatial Temporal Shockwave Syndrome is your pick for a ban, I think Asking Alexandria might be a ban on Belgium's side.
I see. Cool, yeah. With that, we can, I guess, while both teams are setting up for a warm-up song, we can talk about, I guess, like the players of both teams. We can start with Belgium leading the charge. In Team Belgium, we got Zillion and Matt. It's very interesting to note that Zillion does have very high scores on all of the songs in this pool. I believe he is either number 1 and number 2 in a few songs only. And these are like global leaderboards. So you got other top players up there. I saw in songs that he was number 2 in. He was only overtaken by crazy players like Duh Hello and Flea, I believe. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to see Zillion
William
Up
definitely one of the premier
holidays.
act players in the tournament.
Mhm.
He and Matt, as well as Snapback, will make Belgium one of the scariest act teams to face.
As well, it's very it also is interesting that Zillion actually isn't the #1 player in Belgium, despite all his crazy scores that he gets on all of these songs. It is actually Matt who is #1. So yeah, with I can definitely see we've been seeing this strategy throughout BSWC where they do like teams tend to keep a bunch of their top players in for like every song, and that is a good strategy because you always love to have like your strongest players on the front lines at all times. But at the same time, you gotta account that these dudes are like people and they do get tired. So let's see if Japan kind of plays to this. Like they pick all the fast songs to purposely so Matt and Zillion get tired because yeah, as they know as well, Belgium is a little bit short on people. Two players were injured, I believe, and one is currently not able to play. But yeah, here we are going into the picks and bans for both teams. Let's see if our predictions were correct. Like, let's see if the ban on spatial temporal might happen, or that was just all a mind game.
We shall see.
At the same time, you were right that Team Belgium is a very strong like team in terms of act. So this might be the first time we might see Japan banning an act map. Actually,
Oh, Ubit rolls a 95. We'll see if Julian manages to guess that, but I think we're gonna be seeing Japan gets the first ban.
unless.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, that'd be really funny though if Team Belgium just got something above 95. I mean, you'll never know. that might if they
Oh,
do.
I think chat's saying that they did get a 44 before. Oh wait, no, they're still rolling. They're still rolling. Let's see. Come on, Zillion, you can do it. 96.
Oh. No, that is an 18. Big rip. All right, so
I think we just give the match to Japan now.
so the first ban will be going to Team Japan. Let's see what they ban. Like, I'm actually very interested because Japan, yeah, throughout the run they've been leaning more towards accuracy and act maps. But like, let's see if they try to take a different approach to this specific matchup versus Team Belgium.
They're definitely taking a little bit of time to kind of figure things out. Maybe. I mean, I'm kind of expecting lightsaber for Japan, and then asking Alexandria for Belgium, but we'll see. Definitely, this pool is like, despite having three maps labeled balanced, it's a bit more technical than the previous pools. Asking Alexandria and Spatial Temporal definitely have a higher degree of technical execution component to them.
Oh, and yeah, hey, my prediction was correct.
Wow.
Belgium. Actually, yeah, Belgium was the first ban, but they banned Spatial Temporal Shockwave. And yeah, I guess it was. Yo, let's go. I got my prediction right.
You got it. That's definitely a map that has a lot of like tricky patterns that could trip up. Like it makes the map a lot more, makes the match a lot more pointy. And Sky Strike being banned by Japan.
Okay, so both act maps are alive. We might be seeing them played back to back, I believe. Unless. Oh, let's actually see here. Oh, Japan picking Dreamless Wander.
We go for the 5-minute map right off the bat. This will be very interesting to see. Will Belgium burn out their arms on this on this slider map?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually interesting to note because both act maps are picked, I believe we're only still gonna see one despite this because I believe that whoever wins the first act map is gonna win the second one for sure. So the losing team, who will probably be picking the song by then, they're gonna be picking something else rather than the other remaining act map. But let's see, we're going in to song number 1, Dreamless Wanderer. This is Team Japan's pick, and going in, repping Team Japan, we got Edgy, Fazpai, Ray, and Emiru. And for Belgium, we got Matt, Zillion, Jestro, and Gianni.
Interesting to see that Maso is not in this map. It's probably because it's a slower one that's kind of more suited to their accuracy players. So we'll see if Japan kind of does better on this mid-act map.
So like in this drop, I did just like when personally playing through myself, I do recall there was this one section. I believe there was a stack, a right-hand stack that goes all the way to the left side. You know, I feel like an unfortunate accident might occur there for some players.
It's definitely a long map, so you do have the chance to kind of make back the accuracy even if you do drop. So I think consistency will be key here.
Yeah, but I believe this is the longest map in the pool at 5 minutes and... Where are those notes? It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so 5 minutes 33 seconds, I believe.
Dang.
And yeah, looking through the map, there's just a lot of sliders, stacks, some bomb flow, which Umbra is somewhat known for.
Oh, you have it open in the editor right now?
I do.
Yo, let's go. Yeah, actually, you have two mappers casting right now. I just noticed. I actually have it open as well. Let's go.
United. Yeah, we're getting ready. Every team's doing their kind of warm-up stretches, their warm-up routine, staring at the number of notes in the pool.
And actually, we got Taichi Desu in the chat, giving support for Team Japan here.
I think he has been watching most of the Japan's World Cup matches, and I think he's definitely rooting for his team, his countrymen.
So here we go. We are syncing up the streams right now. We will be heading straight into song number 1, Dreamless Wanderer. Let's see how both teams do here.
As the green screens come out, let's get ready for Japan versus Belgium. Who's going to take this first match?
Okay, it's taking a bit to sync. Let's just give it a sec. All right, here we go.
And we are in.
So yeah, this song in particular is actually one of Camelia's chiller songs. It's not something above 190 BPM. It's literally just chills at 174, but you know, it does get pretty crazy in terms of like there's a bunch of wubs in this song. So like yeah, you could definitely expect a bunch of sliders.
Definitely very Camellia, and Umbernox's influence shows in too, with all the window sliders and the bombs used.
Yeah, we did note that he does not just only use like simple slider, but he also throws in a lot of window sliders in this, and window sliders are essentially as wide as 3 wide stacks, so you gotta swing real big for this, especially accounting for the fact that this song is 5 minutes long. This song is just very tiring.
Belgium jumps out to a lead with almost a full percentage over Japan, 95-94. And as I say that, both teams drop a little bit.
Yeah, definitely we're in the start, so like the percents are just like settling, but as of right now, Belgium has been pulling away with this lead.
So far, just Mir and Ray dropping and Gianni, so the FCs remaining are Faz, Edgy, Zillion, and Matt. We'll see if they'll hold.
Yeah, Amir just dropping another note as well.
Zillion really showing his accuracy mastery with a 96.5. He's got 0.7% more than almost anyone, including his teammate Matt. And I think that lead's only going to get bigger as Zillion kind of finds his groove here, and as the other people drop combo.
But here we go in the drop section. Got these thick slider boys. I believe that right hand stack all the way to the left side is coming up. Let's see. Gotta make sure, especially when both teams are FCing. I mean, yeah, have people FCing. A few notes being dropped could mean the entire match. But actually, Team Japan catching up to Team Belgium, keeping it close with a percent deficit of only 0.7.
They're holding their combos, and they're trying to make up that accuracy, but they're gonna need a miss from Zillion or Matt, I think, to close that back gap.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Edgy and Fazpai popping off here. Getting really good scores, keeping their scores above 95%, but it is not enough to topple the giant that is Zillion, who is sitting comfortably at a 96.2.
Yeah, every player is sort of holding a very large combo at this point, so it seems like we are coming down to an accuracy battle for this map.
Oh my gosh. Dang it, actually Team Belgium is pulling away with the lead of freaking Zillion and Matt are actually they're pulling up the score. It's actually going above 95.
Climbing up to about a 0.8 percentage gap at this point. Will Team Japan be able to pull their act together and climb up?
Mm-hmm. Either they really need to get a little bit more acts or bigger swings, or if Team Belgium just misses a few.
And Amir drops, so that's going to really set back Team Japan in their quest to catch Belgium.
Oh, dang. Yeah, so far, both Matt and Zillion maintaining this FC absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Zillion only dropping 0.03% below 96.
Yeah, he's maintaining a 96 on the slider map. That is absolutely insane.
Dude,
as Amir drops again, this is not looking good for Japan.
Zillion actually dropped, but it was so late into the song that it didn't really affect his percent much. Like, yeah, sure, he's dropping.
0.3, yeah.
Jeez.
And almost, and Edgy and Fazby both drop. That's not good for Team Japan. But Jestro drops low, and Gianni drops.
Yeah, Edgy and Faz are definitely both of Team Japan's like players that have been like keeping a very high score all throughout the song. But a drop from them might just mean everything. It was like, yeah, we're approaching the outro here. It was close, but dang, that lead that was freaking brought in by Zillion and Matt. That lead was just too much for Team Japan to catch up on.
Even with 4 players, it seems like Japan does not have what it takes to kind of catch Zillion and Matt.
Dang, wait, I still can't get over it. Zillion got a 90, like, he was maintaining a 96 act on a slider, a 5-minute slider map. Right. What the heck?
95.8, 1 miss, slider heavy 5-minute map. That's insane.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, with that, I don't believe, well, let's double check first if there are any calls for tracking, but even if there was, like, that score is just very intimidating. 94.89 net percent from Team Belgium.
Yeah. Their average score is higher than anybody on Japan's score, so that is quite a mountain to climb.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see here. Yeah, I believe Team Belgium does take the first song in the set. Taking Dreamless Wanderer, which is actually, that was Japan's pick. So let's see. We might see a change of plans here.
It doesn't seem like there will be a tracking call from either team. It did not look like any player dropped tracking.
Jeez. That was only song number 1 in this match. Of course, though, like, despite that really outstanding performance from Belgium, Japan was not far behind by any means.
Yeah, 94% on that map is nothing to be discounted. That is a very good performance from Team Japan.
Mm-hmm. Kept the difference, I believe. It was it 1% or less than 1%?
Yeah, it was about, I think, 0.8% was the difference. Yeah. It held pretty steady over the map.
Yeah, I feel like if, I believe, was it? Can't remember which Japanese player missed near to the start, but if
Emir, I think Emir was dropping quite a few. They had probably the most drops on Team Japan. And Belgium does pick Light Saber, so they're going straight for the accuracy.
Ooh. All right. So, yo, let's see if we're gonna see like a reverse pick situation here, where because Japan picked Dreamless and then Team Belgium was the one that took it. Let's see if we're gonna see like the same situation happen here, but Team Japan might take it because, like, yeah, in general, Team Japan has been like more inclined for act when fighting other countries, But yo, you'll never know. Belgium, they might be the country that just outmatches them in act. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Belgium and Germany did also win on each other's picks in their first round match, so we could see the repeat of that in this match.
Mm-hmm. Japan actually subbing out both Emir and Ray. Going in is Naru Mori and Oriha.
On Belgium's side, we see that Snapback has come in for, I think, Gianni Koch.
Oh, hang on. I think I'm a robot right now. Let me just rejoin the call.
So yeah, we're kind of getting ready to see as the teams prepare for this accuracy map. This is a map by Simply Marvelous. It's a somewhat stream-heavy accuracy map. And as is Simply Marvelous's want to do, it is a K-pop map.
K-pop, let's go! Yeah, it's pretty unique. Like in terms of this true accuracy map, there are a few bits and pieces of bursts and streams, like because of the rap sections in this particular song. They're not a lot. Like they only happen a few times, but like it's still slow enough for you to get some really high scores on them. So through and through, this is an act map. You will just see a few streams.
It's mostly 140 BPM kind of half beat streams with a couple with like a bit of a 1/4 burst and one long 1/4 stream thrown in in the middle. So
yo, let's go. Having mappers cast the World Cup, we both have the editors open right now and we're just looking through the map.
Let's make sure to keep our eyes on the match as well, though.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is Belgium's pick. They opted for the accuracy pick here. Let's see if Japan can just turn this around or if Belgium. I believe Zillion does have #1 on this with something absolutely insane. I believe he has a 97.9 and he is global rank #1 in this specific song leaderboard.
Absolutely nutty. Most players struggle to get 97.9 on any song, and Zillion has it on it's not just all downs, you know, there's streams, there's stacks, there's various crossover patterns, and he still has a 98 on it. That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
See Edgy doing a couple warm-ups. The rest of the players somewhat chilling.
Hey. So I wanted to talk about because I don't know, I've always been ever since the first match Team Japan had in the World Cup, I've always been a huge Oriha fan, simply because Oriha kind of just breaks all the expectations and is just a testament on how global rank doesn't it doesn't matter, dude, because Oriha doesn't really grind any of the newer PP maps and is global rank 3000. But as you reviewed Oriha's top page scores, there are some absolutely nutty scores on Oriha's front page.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Beat Saber. Rank doesn't mean everything. You have, Bananan claiming a $1,000 bounty, Jack beating maps no one else can beat, and we have Oriha, who might carry his country in this World Cup match today.
Yep. Let's see right here, heading into match song #2. This is Belgium's pick. We are going to Light Saber.
Probably see the ball go back and forth as teams kind of stabilize their act, but it seems like Belgium's starting out with a slight lead.
Let's hope we don't see any early song misses that happen, because especially on an act map, that could literally mean everything.
Interesting to know that Naramori is playing with lights on. We see everybody else having static lights, but I think he enjoys the light show. And holy, that is almost a 98 across the board for Team Belgium. They're slipping from it a bit. That is still a 97.6. What on earth is that?
We were talking about how Zillion had a crazy score, but look at Jestro maintaining a 97.90. What?
This accuracy lineup from Belgium is insane. Every country in the World Cup, they gotta be on the lookout for this.
Oh my god.
98 for Zillion, 97 for Matt, 97.7.8 from Gestro, and 97.5 from Snapback. That's
Dude, I just want to say that all the from both countries, everyone has been maintaining a percentage above 97, and like, I don't know, that by itself is absolutely insane.
Trying to challenge Zillion and Gestro with a 97.66. No slouch in the act department. We could see why they were brought in for this match.
All right, here we go. We're going into the rap section. This is the section of the song that has the most streams. So let's see if we see some percentage changes right here.
Belgium's losing a little bit of accuracy on this section, but not too much.
Japan actually edgy, dropping below a 97, and so does Narumori. Currently, Oriha is the MVP of Team Japan with 97.5, but Team Japan's gonna need a little bit more than that to overtake Team Belgium with Zillion sitting at a 97.8. Like, everyone's above a 97 in Team Belgium. Oh my god.
Yeah, 97.6, 97.5. And Snaphack, who is one of the act specialists on Belgium, actually the lowest score on his team.
Dang. We got Gestro at 97.6. He is keeping it real up there. Oh my gosh. Oriha, don't count him out just yet. Actually, Faz bringing back the act, but Naru and Edgy falling behind just a little bit, approaching the end of the song.
Yeah, can Japan pull it out? I think it's too late for a miss, even a miss on Belgium to change anything. And wow, that's 8 full combos, and Belgium by 0.5%.
All right, yeah, with all those full combos, I do believe there were no tracking issues at all. And the second song will be going to Belgium. We might see a swift 3-0 victory here from Belgium, unless Japan decides to turn it around and make it a reverse 3-0. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of wrote off Belgium at the beginning when they were seated very low, but it seems like they're making a run through the losers bracket, and they're a team to be feared.
All right. With the remaining maps, what do you think is gonna get picked? I don't think Japan is gonna try their luck on another act map, despite the mapper being one of their team members. I don't think they're gonna go for it.
Like, do they take their chances with the seasickness and go for the coin flip? Asking Alexandria if they're confident in their window and stack hack, they could go for that. But Japan, I think Zillion's better at those kind of tech lines.
Oh, there was actually calls for tracking, yeah.
So it's very hard to see, but someone could potentially have gotten a bunch of sub 100s in a row, and that definitely can make a difference.
So let's see here. They're gonna have another shot to try and beat Belgium's absolutely insane score. So let's see what happens here real quick. But yeah, like, after this song, what do you think is gonna get picked from the three? Even if Japan does pick one of the faster maps to try and catch them off guard, I think Belgium is just gonna go to the edgy song, the other act map. And
I think Japan might try their luck with the feel seasickness, because that's definitely the kind of the most coin flippy. It's a lot shorter. There are a lot more technical patterns that can cause people to drop.
All right, so another run here. Let's see if Team Belgium's going to try full swinging this as well, because honestly, a 97.5, even if you set a previous score as that, that's honestly something very intimidating to try and beat. That's why I'm also surprised that Team Japan is going for another run on Lightsaber as well.
Yeah. If they would have had multiple members, even if multiple members got a couple sub 100s in a row, it's very tough to make up that 0.5% difference, even if the tracking did not fail.
It's kind of worrisome to know. Like, even with because I feel like a tracking reset might be more needed on a song like the Asking Alexandria song and Feel Seasickness, because The notes get kind of crazy there, and like I could easily imagine tracking being lost at either the stack section or the window section, or a lot of the doubles. They're really wide and feel seasickness. I
Yeah,
could
I personally
easily
love
see the
tracking
tracking.
multiple times testing those maps, and we're getting into game. This is
Nice,
tracking
let's go.
Japan's tracking reset on a lightsaber.
Mhm. Oh dang.
97.5 is the
Oh
number to
no.
beat.
Edgy and Faz getting a few lower scored swings at the start,
Yeah.
already dropping them to a 96. Like, sure, it's the start of the song, they can build it back up, but like in an app map, especially when you're trying to beat Team Belgium's insane score of 97.5, you're gonna need every single good swing.
Yeah, and Edgy and Naru still below 97, so in Belgium basically holding the same score as they had last round.
Yeah, actually the scores are very similar. Last round, Team Japan had around like 97.0 something, and then Team Belgium was sitting comfortably at a 97.5. But they're actually Team Belgium bringing it up here. Zillion chilling at a 98.
Damn. Oh my goodness, yeah, they are actually improving on their score from last round. Japan as well, but it's just not enough to catch Belgium at this moment. They're gonna have to hope for a drop.
Here, Jestro and Snapback. They're keeping it close with the 97.6 and 97.5, as well as Matt keeping it at a 97.7. They're pretty much just chilling, all in the same area.
Naru and Edgy is slowly climbing back up to 97, but that's not going to be enough. 97.5 is the number to beat.
Unbelievable. Zillion maintaining a 97.9 even after going through that rap section. We saw it in the last playthrough that a bunch of players on both teams lost a bunch of act during that section, but oh my god. Oh jeez. I think it was only Matt that lost.
Is just marvelous. Jeez. Simply marvelous.
Yo,
and he is
name
98. Almost got a 97.9. He does have the 97.9, and Belgium actually beating their score from last round with a 97.6 as we get into the last quarter of the song.
Dude, Zillion showing us why he's #1 on this particular song's leaderboard.
He may not be ranked as high as some of the other players, but he is a tournament monster with his accuracy skills.
It's actually interesting to note as well, like Japan is more like they're pretty much getting the same score they got in their previous run through.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the best use of their tracking recall. Like they should have maybe saved it for one of the D map or the muffin map.
Mm-hmm. I feel like for sure we're gonna see a pick on one of those two. Like despite Edgy mapping the other accuracy map, I feel like just Team Japan understanding the accuracy prowess that Team Belgium, like the entire team, it really like we were talking a lot about Zillion and Matt, but dude, the entire Team Belgium has been they nailed this song, dude. So I don't think we're gonna be seeing the other act map. I think we're definitely gonna be seeing either Feels or oh my gosh. We're gonna get a quick boy.
0. Let's hope that Japan can pull it back and bring us more games.
But yeah, like what you were saying, I'm surprised they didn't save a potential tracking reset for the two other faster maps, because really, like, I think those two maps are like it's way easier to lose tracking, especially on fields.
Yeah, field seasickness is the tracking killer. With lots of wide crossover patterns and streams, and then the sky streams as well.
Oh yeah, the sky streams.
Just drop combo from the difficulty of reading.
I believe there was a last-minute change to the map, but it was only like a note being moved, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it was to correct a note spawning issue with two notes being slightly desynced from each other.
I see. All right, so let's see what this is potential tournament point for Team Japan. If they lose this next song, they will be out of the oh! Oh wait, yeah, it is Belgium's second pick. Actually, yeah, it isn't loser picks the map. It's actually loser of the dice roll picks 2 in a row.
1, 2, 3, like it goes like 1, then 2, 2, then 1 again.
Yeah. So this actually might be Belgium putting the nail in the coffin with one more accuracy map.
This is Japan's map. This is, you know, they have Edgy is the mapper, and the Japanese community is very tight knit. They play each other's maps a lot. They test play for them, so maybe they can pull something out to beat Belgium's accuracy here.
Yeah, definitely. There's no doubt that I feel like going into the match, Japan definitely practiced this song as well. I don't think if the pick was up to them, I don't think they'd be picking this song, but they're definitely prepared to play this song. That's for sure.
It's kind of interesting seeing the Sky Strike ban, because like you ban that because you don't like the sliders and the jumps, but like seeing how their accuracy is kind of fared against Belgium, maybe they would have better been, that ban would have been better spent on one of the ACK maps.
Yeah, I guess Japan was also banking on the fact that they could overtake Belgium in terms of ACK, but I don't know, from that lightsaber match, like Belgium just very solid in the accuracy department. Japan is gonna have to do whatever it takes to beat them in their, I guess, their own game. Because, like, yeah, Japan throughout their tournament run, they've been leaning more towards ACK, but they finally met their match with Team Belgium.
Yeah, they are on their last leg. They have no tracking reset, so this could potentially be their last map of the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dang, what a turn of events. This is definitely, dude, that's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, Japan is definitely a lot of people kind of sleeper pick to go far in the tournament. They might be out here in losers round 2.
Yeah, definitely. Like, thinking back to what you said, that Sky Strike ban is definitely interesting from Japan. It was definitely like, I think Japan just thought they could just take the ACK maps from them. That's why they didn't want to try to ban the ACK map. But like, yeah, Belgium just outmatched them in ACK. Because yeah, both teams are very accuracy based.
Just looking at the leaderboard for Sky Strike, you have Matt and Zillion in the top 10, and then nobody in Japan inside the top 20.
Oh yeah, Sky Strike might have been there. Like, you know how we were talking about how Spatial Temporal was gonna, I felt like Spatial Temporal was gonna be like an auto ban from Team Belgium simply because Zillion didn't set a score on it. Yeah. That might have been the same thing, but for Japan, for Sky Strike.
They didn't feel confident on it. And we are getting into the match. Let's see. This could be the deciding game for Japan's tournament.
Here we go. Streams are synced, and here we go. Go into Amazing Mirage. Song number 3 of the tournament set. This is Team Belgium's pick.
This one is already a bit more back and forth than the last accuracy battle.
Actually, yeah. The bar is going back and forth, but it is leaning more towards Team Belgium. Oh, wait, as I say that, it fluctuated just a little bit, but...
yeah. Oriha holding 98, actually doing better than this match. Oriha showing their skills on Edgy's map.
Alright, let's see here. Team Japan, this might make a miracle happen right here. Don't count them out just yet.
Edgy is real 97, but they're climbing now.
That's a 0.2% difference. Uh-oh. Team Japan dropping a little bit in terms of accuracy. Meanwhile, Team Belgium still keeping it strong.
Oriha dropping below a 98. We'll see if they can bring their act back.
With that, all members are actually above a 97. This is a pretty close match.
Japan definitely practiced this map.
Dang, Jestro's act sitting at 97.85.
Belgium is a country full of accuracy monsters. Oh man, and he is the highest scorer in the match right now, higher than Zillion.
Yo, Jestro. But yeah, it might have been that might have been Japan's mistake. And yeah, the song is fairly short, so that is it. And Team Belgium takes it with a sweep 3-0 over Japan.
2 accuracy matches in Dreamless Wanderer.
Yeah, it was definitely a risk that Japan took by not banning an accuracy map. But yeah.
So I think they probably used their tracking reset because they knew Belgium was going to pick the next accuracy map as their third pick. So
yeah, I see.
They wanted to try to call one back because they didn't feel confident on this pick.
Mm-hmm. So there it is. The victory will be going to Team Belgium, and they will move on to the bracket.
Congratulations, Team Belgium, and the tournament well fought, Team Japan.
Yeah, for sure. They, especially Team Japan, I've been kind of following their their entire tournament run. Honestly, I casted their first match versus South Korea, and then I casted their match versus USA. They fought really well. They had a very solid team for sure.
Yeah, I think some people kind of expected them to go far, but I think people were kind of underestimating Belgium. People knew Zillion and Matt were good, but we didn't think they had the supporting cast. But the supporting cast has showed up. They have arrived. Jestro, Snapback, and Gianni, all very good players in their own right.
Yeah, and this is interesting to note that Belgium had some a little bit of trouble, that they had a few of their players injured and then one in vacation, I believe. But hey, despite this, they do pull through, beating Japan, and they will be waiting in losers round 3 to fight either France or Sweden.
Yeah, those are 2 very good teams, so we'll see if they give Belgium a run for their money. Belgium definitely stronger than France or Sweden on AC, but Sweden and France have very strong challenge players, so we'll see how this loser round 3 plays out.
So I guess while waiting a little bit for some stuff to settle down, and then while waiting for finding for someone to raid, I guess what can you say about that I guess pick and ban from Team Japan? I feel like Sky Strike was definitely a comfort ban, but really I think just leaving both of the act maps open for Belgium to go in, it was kind of monka, dude.
You're kind of hoping for Belgium to drop there, but Belgium's such a good act team, they're not going to drop combo very often. Yeah. So I think we've seen this kind of pattern from teams where they kind of ban a map that they're bad at, but they don't understand that the other team is also going to be similarly weak on the same thing. Wide 4-lane crossovers are not easy. Skystreams are not easy for anybody, but you just have to say we're not that much worse than our opponents on this.
Definitely. For teams still in the tournament, I feel like they're gonna have to look into a bunch of those more. Maybe do some little bit more research on their players and whether they do prefer faster songs or accuracy songs. But definitely, even if I was in Japan's shoes, I'd have a hard time too. I know Belgium are just they're filled with accuracy monsters, but at the same time, you can't count them out on any of the other faster songs too, because we do have Matt, we do have Zillion, kind of on top of all of the other leaderboards and the other maps in this specific pool.
Maybe Dreamless Wanderer was not a good pick because that's kind of that's the slower, sort of more accuracy focused map. Zillion and Matt would definitely shine on that one. So if they picked one of the shorter DE maps, maybe they would have had a better shot at taking those rounds.
Yeah.